Hello and welcome back. Today I've got a special surprise for you. Instead of PvP, we're actually gonna take a look at PvE and more specifically Spec Ops because today we managed to do the achievement that was thought to be impossible but already was done by labs earlier. But yeah, the achievement that you need to protect the train on the Spec Ops war mission. Uh, in a way that the train does not take any sort of damage whatsoever from anything, pretty much. So yeah, let's dive into the replay as to how we did that. So here we're loading into the mission. As you can see, our setup is we actually didn't even have a full team, but our setup as a platoon was based on two MBTs, a Sphinx and a ZTQ. Yeah, I didn't really have any sort of thought behind the ZTQ other than I just wanted to play it. But yeah, the way it turned out is that it seems that the DPM on the ZTQ is actually pretty useful, as well as the fact that the turret is pretty strong. So you can use some hold down positions here and there. But like the key to this to us doing this mission here was the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is gonna do a lot of the work later on in the mission. And we're actually loaded in. So like the beginning of this mission is actually pretty easy, to be honest. Like there's gonna spawn a few light tanks that are gonna drive around the corner. Two around there, and one comes around from the side. As you can see, my aim is potato, so I can't even pen a PL. Yeah, so there you can see the one tank that comes from the side. Wonderful to have teammates blocking your shots. It's amazing. Best feeling in the world. Yeah, and you don't see that on my screen here, but I'm shooting mostly heat, and I'm running with Alyssa as well, so you get more ammo. Because like especially in a mission like this, you don't want to run out of ammo and have to respawn for that. Because staying alive is crucial on the last part of the mission in order to actually do the achievement. Getting pushed by teammates, also very nice. And what you don't see in this recording either is that we were in voice comms on Discord. So that's also kind of a big key to doing missions like these, and pretty much any achievement mission really, is being able to communicate with your teammates in the most effective way. For me personally, that's through voice comms, because talking always goes faster than writing. Yeah, and there's always one light tank that comes driving, one that spawns here that we already killed, and there's also one in the water. The rest of the light tanks are gonna spawn like in the A5, A6 area. So what I tend to do with my light tank is I just sit here and shoot whatever gets spotted. And then you would want like one or at least two of your MBTs to push. Preferably MBTs that can take a lot of fire from the front. So not things like Type 99, stuff like that. One thing you have to keep in mind when you're shooting heat is that heat does not penetrate through water. So you have to shoot the parts of the tanks that are above water, because the heat automatically fuses and just refuses to pen if it hits any sort of surface of water before panning a tank. And there the light tanks are gone, so then you can start moving up. Again, staying back like that is only really advisable when you're actually gonna be able to do damage. Because otherwise, especially if you play with randoms, like camping in the back can really be irritating. Here I just shoot on the move, and you see the accuracy on the ZTQ is very, very nice, even while driving. So yeah, as you can see, like if you push this together with a team, you really clear out these enemies pretty fast. Especially when you have like a ZTQ, K2 and a Sphinx with DPM as well as the Terminator. But yeah, contrary to many other achievements, you actually need some MBTs in this, at least 2 I would say. In this mission, especially for the achievement, because especially in this part, as well as the end of the battle, you really need armor, and you really need to just sit in front of the train in the end. And here you really need to be able to push the city, because like if you have no armor, as you're gonna see there, there's 2 hold down, or at least 1 hold down lieutenant and 1 non-hold down lieutenant. But both of those are gonna really just wreck you if you don't have any sort of armor. So what I'm doing here with my ZTQ is I'm using the rubble, trying to like hide my lower plate as well as possible. And like as you can see, the turret has ERA. And I'm just shooting AP at the lower plate of the Cat B there. And as you can see, Black Samurai behind me is shooting heat, and he's actually not panning the Cat B. So that's why I'm shooting AP. So Cat B is one of those tanks that like you can pan it with heat, but AP is always going to be more reliable both from the front and from the sides. Especially since the sides got some ERA. And here, since the light tanks that come from the side have already been triggered, I can just push up. There I'm always going for the ammo rack. The Challenger hits me for 1100. I think that's like almost a max roll, if I'm not completely mistaken. But yeah, so I told Nevim to go into the corner there. But he actually knew about the position, or I mean over there, because there's trees there. But he actually told me like, no, there's a better position. So if you follow him, he's actually gonna go behind where the enemy are spawning. So like there's bushes to work with there, as well as a street that you can use to get rear shots. And as you're gonna see from the end results as well, he actually did a lot of damage. But the only catch is you have to get there before this zone is capped, because otherwise you're gonna literally drive into spawning MBTs. As you can see, I'm just completely not paying attention to my surroundings here, having like 3 other people or 3 other tanks very close to me. But it's fine because they were distracted. Here I'm kind of not being nice to Samurai, blocking his shots. But then again, I want damage. Professional streamer strats, by the way. Yeah, so as you can see, from this cap, the enemies spawn from 3 different directions. But most of them actually come from that direction over there, or that street. And there you can see Nevim just dealing constant damage to the rear of all of those tanks over there. But yeah, that's actually a position I didn't know about either. I usually tend to sit either behind there, or more often than not behind there when I knock over the trees or something. So that could be a thing, like if you don't manage to get to this area in time. So I was asking him, like, is this where you usually sit? But he said, like, you can just use the whole road and use smoke to pretty much effectively shoot anything in the rear. And me being a light tank, I have no problem driving into this fast. If you want to do the speed requirement, you probably want to, for example, not bring a Challenger, but bring something with either DPM or more speed. Like, for example, either a T15 or maybe like a Type 10. Same with like ZTQ. Like the ZTQ is nice, but you're probably gonna be better off pushing with like a Type 10 or a K2. And here you can see, like, I'm kind of struggling to pen this PL because I cannot shoot underwater, so like the whole side is red for me. The team have already taken out these boxes. Seems like they've actually buffed the speed of those pillboxes. Seems like they're actually shooting faster than they used to do. So yeah, that's why you bring a Sphinx, because the Sphinx can just run down the infantry and actually spot it before it shoots the train. So as you can see, the train is still 10,000 HP. Then the next wave of light tanks is gonna spawn here. But yeah, key to doing this whole mission is shooting the choppers, because they spawn infantry, and also shooting the infantry spawns like the moment they spawn. Because as long as you're not sitting in front of the train, the only thing that's gonna shoot the train is actually infantry, or infantry that's gonna get dropped by the choppers. So you need to make sure you kill all of the choppers before they land, as well as you need to make sure you take care of the infantry. So yeah, as you probably saw, no, you can't actually see that, but like there's infantry spawning on the buildings here. There's infantry spawning, yeah, there it is. And there you see Nevim in the Sphinx takes it out right away. And there's also infantry that's gonna spawn like on the island right there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm pretty much gonna be a distraction on this end. So there's a lot of enemies that I know that are gonna be here, because this is the end station of the train. And pretty much my job is to make their turrets look my way instead of the other way. And you do that by shooting them, because the moment you shoot an AI, it's actually gonna focus you down. And also, I've got like 11k DPM, which is very helpful at taking out at least some of them before the train arrives. As you can see, another chopper, and Nevim in the Sphinx takes it down again. So like the whole key of this strategy, more AI spawns and Nevim in the Sphinx takes them down as well. And then the last AI are actually gonna spawn in the train building right there. So there you actually need probably an MBT to take care of those. Yeah, as you can see there to the left. Yeah, so it's Black Samurai and Sphinx that finish those off. But yeah, and then at this point, you just need to make sure you're not sitting in front of the train. Because if they miss... The thing is, they're not going to shoot the train, but if they shoot at you and miss, if they hit the train by accident, it's actually going to count as damage. So you need to make sure whatever you do, that you take the damage and not the train. So like at this point, I'm a one shot, but I just wanna try and divert as much attention away from the train as possible. And there, I mean, I respawn, but I probably wouldn't have had to. Because I'm not gonna reach back in time anyways. Yeah, so there you have it. Train protection complete. I hope this was useful. And I will also put up the damage screens and stuff, just for good measure. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, as you can see, the Sphinx is really an important part of this strategy, because the combination of the Sphinx's autocannon as well as rockets, as well as it's fast, the wheels don't lose as much speed in the water, so you can cross the bridge fast enough, and the fact that it's got enough view range to spot infantry really makes it a key component of doing this achievement. And also, like, even if you're not doing the achievement at all, the Sphinx is still a very viable tank to bring also in randoms, for example. Because you could pretty much solo save the train. The only thing you would need is like other people to stay alive to take care of the enemies as well. But yeah, that's it. I hope this was useful. If you found this useful, drop a like, consider subscribing, and see you next time.